Alright, so welcome back. What is going on? It is your boy Ben from Ben's Gaming Studios here today, bringing you another YouTube video, this time again on Palworld, and I'm going to be going more in depth here on recovering or really converting your player save data for servers. Now, I don't know that this fixes the infinite loading screen or anything like that, but this definitely does help you to be able to put your dedicated server player data to dedicated server, or your host data that you might lose when you make a dedicated server for the first time. This will also help you recover that. So what I'm going to be covering today is xNul's Palworld host save fix script. Now this is a little bit advanced. You guys will need to follow along closely. We have some dependencies we'll need to install, and it was a little bit complicated for me, honestly. It took me a couple hours to get the process down pat. Once I did, it makes a lot of sense, and I think I can help everybody else understand that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here and dive into this. So first off, you're going to want to go ahead and download Python. To do that, you'll go to this website right here I have on screen. You can otherwise just look up Python download. It'll be this first link right here. And I think I'll just do the rest of them this way as well. I already have it installed. I don't have a ton of space on my disk, so I'm not going to do it again, but you'll hit this, download it, and install it. It does install just like any other program. A couple of these others won't, so I will jump into at least the installers, though, to show you how that's done. So I'm now going to look up Visual Studio. We'll type in Build Tools 2017 because that actually does bring up what you need. It's going to bring you to a link. Like there'll be a couple here. Get my words together. You're going to see this link right here. This is Visual Studio, Microsoft C++, Build Tools, Visual Studio. Click on that. And mine's, of course, going to take a second to load here. It'll bring you to a page like this. Just go ahead and hit Community, free download, and it should download an installer, which I will open this up, like I said, to show you guys what you need to do once you're in this, because this is very important. It slowed me down quite a lot because I thought I could just speed right through this process. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to open the next thing up here as well. We'll try to make this as quick as possible. So this will pop up for you. It's going to go quick for me because I already have it installed. It'll take a moment for you all. So I won't have to pause this or anything, but you can see it's already installed and downloaded for me. So it's going to reopen the installer here, which allows me to modify my installation. I could have also done this through the Visual Studio app, which is this right here. And you can open this after you have the app installed, just in case you missed this step. But you will need to have desktop development with C++ installed. That is very important. A lot of scripts require that as a dependency, and the script in particular that we're going to use today does. So once you've done that, that is a big chunk of work out of the way. Really, it's just the download time. The C++ dependencies themselves are about 6 gigabytes, so make sure you have some space ready for that. The next thing you're going to want to download is called Rust, and Rust is just another package of scripting stuff. I don't really know how to explain it. It's Rust up. It's a command line, and it works, I believe, along with Python, but you will need it to install the package from GitHub, which is the script we're going to be using. Well, the package that the script is going to be using to get what we need done. I'm not going to get too complicated with it here. I also can't explain it very well. I suck at that kind of stuff, oddly enough. Anyways, you're going to come to this website here, and to find this, you would type in Rust up. I typed in install earlier, but you can type download, and it'll take you to this right here, which is the page. This would have taken you here, I believe. Hold on. Either way, it's the same thing. That works, but I wanted to get to that page in particular. Rust up install actually works for that, and it does bring you to this page here. Either way, it downloads the Rust up init.exe. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up because this is the next important thing that is a little bit different from a normal install. So let me go ahead and open mine up here, and it's going to open up just like this for you guys. I sped through this as well, and that slowed me down once again. The current stable release of Rust up, for whatever reason, is not compatible with installing the script that you'll need to do this for whatever, like I said, for whatever reason. So go ahead and type in 2 and press enter. It'll ask you this first question. You just hit enter. Don't do what I just did, just press enter. Now here's the important thing. Right here, you're going to want to type nightly. I went ahead and did complete just in case. So type complete and then type enter or press enter. Press enter again here to not change anything. And then once it comes back down here, you have 1, 2, 3 in front of you again. Just press enter and it will start the installation with the settings you've set. I'm not going to do that just because, once again, I already have it done. So now you have everything installed at least as far as programs go, that you're going to need to do this. The next important thing is going to be to open up PowerShell now. And with PowerShell, you are now ready to install this package that we are going to use to fix your save. First of all, though, we need to download the script we'll be using. So if you go, again, I'll open up a tab here, type in xNul save, or sorry, we'll just do xNul Palworld save, I'm tripping out right now, host save fix, and it will bring it up. It'll be this first link here. Once you're on here, you're going to need to download this. So hit code, download zip, and open this up. If you don't have WinRAR or 7-zip, I will leave that in the description for you all. Once you have this opened, I would say just leave it here for a moment. Or what you could actually do, since this folder exists already for you, is go and open a file explorer like this. Go to this PC, C, and find the, this looks completely different than it did a moment ago when I did this. Stick with me here, guys. Sorry, users, go into your user, and then go into .cargo and bin. And here, this is where you're going to want to extract the fixhost.save. Really just select everything in here and drag it in here with all these exes. Go ahead and leave this folder open because we're going to need it in a little bit. So I'm just going to put that in the background for now. So now back over here, we're going to go ahead and get this package installed. Now for that, you're going to need to, what we're talking about here is installing usave. So I'm going to go ahead and type in usave GitHub. That should bring it up. It did not. Let me try if you do usave.rs. And it is this first link here. Sorry guys, my Discord is still open. I'll go ahead and close that. All right, so once you get on usave-rs, it took me in there for some reason, but this is what you should see, and I'll link this in the description below. Sorry for the confusion with all the links tonight. I had them open for a reason. I know it was going to be a little harder to search for some of these things. Anyways, so now we're here, and this right here where it says usage, this first line is what's important. We're going to copy cargo install --git, just all this good stuff right here. So copy that. You come over here and you are going to paste it into your Windows PowerShell. And by the way, if I did not say, you get this open by just typing in PowerShell. Now I'm going to press enter. I'm probably going to close it out before it compiles all the way because I already have it installed. It may actually just tell me that. Yes, it tells me it's already installed, so it's just going to not do that. But it'll go ahead through here, download everything you need, compile it, and install it, and you will be left with the uesave.exe. So that is the important thing that we needed this file open for, as well as the fix host script here. So now, this is where you are going to need to go get either your dedicated server file or your hosted server file or your personal server file, like from your co-op world, and you're going to want to go ahead and put that in a folder somewhere. So that's what I did. I made a whole separate folder just to keep these files I'm working with in. Here it is under player recovery. Now, very important note, do not put a space in your file's name. I made that mistake and it slowed me down once again. So I know now I'm going to need to fix my friend's file. So I'm going to use that to show you guys how to do this. And I will go ahead and log on with my own on here and then on my own personal dedicated server on film, so you guys can see that my character is the same on both. Here, actually, this is wrong. BAM's fixed player. All right. So now let me download the world save once again. I'll probably need to reconnect. And if you guys don't know how to access your world saves, I kind of have skipped over in that because I'm just assuming you do if you're at this point. But it'll either be through your file manager on your computer or what's it called? In your file path for the game, or like on your hosted website, they'll have a file manager. So I'm going to extract this in here now. And this is, like I said, make a folder and put your world save inside of it. Copy it over. Do not just do this to your main folder. You don't want to like break what you already have or might already have working to some extent.
just to try to fix your own data or one person's data. Obviously, no offense to them, but you know what I mean. It's not worth ruining everything to fix one thing. Um, I would personally, in my own world, rather restart than everybody lose their data. All right, so now that you have that in here, you're going to want to leave this open as well. This is another important path. I say that, and yet I closed this folder, so let me go ahead and reopen that. So these two things are going to need to stay open. The other thing you're going to need to do, this is the harder step. I will go ahead and show you one thing here that will be helpful if you don't know where your data is for your dedicated server. Let's say it's on Steam. The easiest way to do that is to go to Palworld dedicated server, browse local files, and it will open that folder right up for you. So now this is what I was just talking about that you're going to need is in the, and if you're watching, I went into PAL server, PAL, saved, save games, 0, and then in here should be the folder for your saved game. And then inside of this, you're going to want to go into players. Now in here, here's all the player data, and this is the important thing you'll need to know is your player ID. Now, if you don't know this, you can kind of base it off of like if you right-click on it when the player file was originally created and when it was last modified. You can have your friend join a separate server you make, or maybe a server they make, just so you guys can. Oh, actually, it would still be different than you need it to be on your end. Either way, you need to figure out what your original player ID is, and then on your dedicated server, let's say like it is for me, which is on DadHost, my hosted server. So I went from a dedicated server on Steam to a hosted server. You'll need to figure out what your new player ID is. So you'll get a new one of these generated for you when you create a new player on this new server. Now, with that being said, at this point, you should have uploaded your world to that server, joined and made a new player, even though you would see it's still all your own, all your old like map data is there. The world's still the same, but you're like not in the guild and you don't have your player data, and that's why we're doing this. So, anyways, let me get back to the point of what I was just talking about. Now that you guys see where you would find this originally, once you have this open and this open, we're going to go ahead and reopen PowerShell again. And we are also going to go back over to the script page we have here because he has great instructions and breaks down in here on text, if I don't explain it well enough, how to do this. And this is actually how I did it myself. So I'm going to be doing from my Windows dedicated server to a Windows or Linux dedicated server. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the first thing you're going to want to type in this command line here is Python. And this, by the way, is relatively the same process if you are doing it for like your own save where you had a co-op server and you're going to a dedicated server. You would just put your 0000, whatever the host player ID thing is, to your new player ID. So anyways, so first thing, type Python. Next thing, you're going to need to put the file path for this fixhost-save script. So the easiest way I found to copy it is just to go ahead and type the whole thing in here. So it's fix-host-save.py, Control A and Control C. Come back over here and right click. Okay, so now we've referenced the script. And he does have the definition or like the explanation for the usage of these commands on there. He doesn't mention to put the add the file like path of the script, but that was the only way I could get it to work personally. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that like I did. The next thing you'll need to put is the file path to uesave.exe. So same thing again here. / backslash actually, save uesave.exe, Control A, Control C, and then you paste that. And then you're going to paste the new player ID, so the one that you would have gotten from joining the second server that you're trying to convert your world data to. So let me go ahead and open Discord here. Even though I exited, that's why I left it open. I have to go get my friend's player ID, so just give me 1 second, guys. This will just take me a moment. I've never had my Discord load this slow, of course. Alright, so I'm going to take his new player ID, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it here. And this does not include the .save. Actually, I forgot something that just made me think of it. So after the uesave.exe, you're going to then need to put your world folder path. And this is like why I said it'd be good to read what he has on there too, because I already messed up the instructions. So if you copy your world path folder, world folder path, sorry, I said those words out of order, paste it here after the uesave path, you then put your friends or um, your own player ID here, your new one from the new server you're migrating to, and then you take your old one and that's what you put next. So just like that, as you guys can see, Python, the path of the script, the path of uesave.exe, the path of your world, and not into the players folder, your new player ID and your old player ID. And once again, you can do this for your personal server, the co-op server going to dedicated, or dedicated to dedicated, and you can do this for each player's save and slowly, migrate everybody's over to the new save. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter here. It's going to tell you want to go ahead and back this up, and this is why we moved this into a new folder to begin with, because it could corrupt your data and you don't want to mess it up. As I said, you press enter again, and it's going to go through a sequence of events here. It'll uncompress things, it will edit the files, it's going to do all the decryption and editing on its own to convert them the way it needs to be, and you'll see new folders files, being created over here on the right hand side. This does take a couple minutes, so don't panic. It personally hangs for me on changes changes made successfully, I believe it says, but it'll hang. It takes like probably 2 to 5 minutes. It could take a little bit longer, just depending on the size of the player files. I haven't really seen why or why not yet. But I'm gonna pause the video so you guys don't have to sit here and watch all this. I will be right back with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and as you can see right here, it says fix has been applied, have fun, and right over here, my file has returned to normal. So what I'm going to do now is go on my FileZilla, which is just my file management for my server. You could do this through your web browser. It doesn't have to be this complicated, or on your computer, you would just go and replace the same folder I am here. You see how this looks just like the drive that I showed you guys how to get to, or the path, I should say. So what I'm going to do is take this right here, drag and drop it, and now the next time my friend gets on, the save for him will be fixed. I should also mention that while you're doing this, you should most definitely have your server shut down. So now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. I will close out these files, and I am going to hop on the game to show you guys that I personally have my save on there, and that I also have it on my dedicated server, so you guys can see that I have the save in both places. They might not be perfectly synced up. I think they might be 20 seconds apart, where I moved a little on the dedicated server just to make sure it was working. So its server appears to be up now, and I also like to commend Palworld on the really fast start times for the servers. Honestly, blows me away. If they could just get the save data figured out, we would be in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and join my server here, and I will be sure this time that I blur this out of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. And that will be loaded in here in just a moment. It'd be really embarrassing if my save data wasn't here, wouldn't it? And boom. As you guys can see, here I am in the world. I have my inventory, I have pals, I have my technology tree, I have my map, my guild. Everything is the way it should be. So let me return to title, and I will actually close the game so you guys can watch me launch the dedicated server here. And there it is, launched. Let me go get my IP for that. Actually, I don't even need to do that, I forget. Launch the game again here, and I'll join the dedicated server so you guys can see it's the same, and then we'll be all finished up. So like I said, this should be good for almost any save. If you're doing it on a hosted server, obviously you'll be doing it through a file manager like I did, or on your website. And I'll drag that on screen real quick just to show you guys. That would be like on a page like this. And you would be able to do it right here. As you can see here, the file paths are on your computer, how I showed you all how to get through it through Steam. So there's that. And let's go ahead and hop into my computer hosted dedicated server now so you guys can see that the save data is the same. And also, obviously, a huge big shout out to xNul for getting this script out with, I do believe, a few other people, but absolutely so gracious to him. This has saved me lots of mental headache. Wow, I guess I'm just gonna glitch through the map on this one. That's cool. But as you guys can see, the save data is the same, thankfully, on both servers. For some reason, on my dedicated server on my computer, I am in the floor. But you take what you can get with a game like this. You gotta love it. So anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I would be more than happy to answer. And I hope I was able to help you out today. Have a great day or night, and I'll see y'all next time.